Well, hi there, soccer fans, and welcome to another edition of Onside, brought to you by Track and Ball Gaming. And as you know, if you need to get on the soccer bets, you've got to have a Track and Ball Gaming account. And this week, especially, you need an account because we've got a big Soccer 13 carryover. What, 30 bar budget?
Yeah, it's estimated pool 30 million, 6.4 carried over. So we'll all be having a go at that, that's for sure.
Well, it's better than playing anything, isn't it? That's better than the lotto.
Yeah. Because you can make your own choices. Not that you can't at lotto, but...
well, you can't win the lotto. This you can win.
Yeah.
Although I heard the other day someone that won the lotto.
Yeah.
They got a 2 million payout, which just shows you.
Well, hopefully you get a 2 million payout with a Soccer 13 this week, James.
Well, we could easily, but before that, we got last man standing, and this has been a great competition, and we're starting again on the 14th, aren't we?
2 weeks' time, International break next weekend, and then we start again,
And will these guys last until the 14th?
Well, the guys have done great. They've done 6 weeks, and you never know. There's 1 week, obviously they got this week to pick. Then there's the international break. Yeah. But no, the guys have done great, James. Must give.
What is interesting is, I don't know if we're going to get them up on screen. We've got Ernie Wallace has he's got Liverpool still.
Well, he's got Liverpool and Everton still to pick. Yeah, so has Gary Leach. Of the top 7 teams, and Larry's got Tottenham and Chelsea to pick. So Larry's in the pound seats. But, this game, you get 1 red card and anything's possible. So you think you're a good thing, and unfortunately it goes pear-shaped.
It looks like those 2 guys are going to go through till certainly to week 7 and maybe week 8 as well, because this weekend they've got chances, with the teams that they've got going. Liverpool, they look like they could win this weekend,
I think
although they live away from home, aren't they?
I think they're better away from home myself. What's strange, James, is my brother Stephen, he works at Leyland, Leyland Trucks, which is like Toyota. They had 146 entrants in their competition. After 5 weeks, there was a winner. So I just said to him, tell the boys if they want any tips, just follow us on the show.
Come to. But this is going to be a big one because it started with about, what, 300?
We had 205 entries.
205 entries.
A lot of people...
The 14th will be much bigger.
Let's hope so.
People are going to enter this competition.
Yeah.
And it's brought to you by Let's Go Travel, our favourite travel agents, Phil Georgia and the team. Right, let's go and have a look at what happened. Champions League this week. It was a big week for a lot of teams. Man United, you must be cock-a-hoop.
Well, I watched the first half. Once we got the 3rd goal, it was all over. In the second half, I watched Atletico Madrid, Chelsea. Chelsea played well, dangerous team in this competition. I think they'll go the furthest of the English teams.
Liverpool disappointing?
No, they should have won. That guy Salah, everyone raves about him. He should, if Robbie Fowler had been playing in that Liverpool team, I think he'd have had 20 goals. Salah should have had a hat-trick in every game he's played. He just can't score goals. Free headers, he's heading at the goalkeeper from the small box. Klopp's starting to take a lot of flack. And I know the defence and the goalkeeper especially is getting abuse. But if you can't score goals, you have 23 chances to score 1 goal, not on.
Budgie, it's endemic of the leagues and soccer today, especially the English league. Strikers can't score goals. Guys like Alan Shearer, they scored goals, those guys. And they never, when they had an opportunity, I saw a guy float the ball over the bloody bar. He was he's inside the 6-yard box. The keeper was standing flat-footed. All he had to do was just side-footed pass straight over the top of the bar. I don't remember which game it was, but I thought that. And I think that it's a big problem. I don't know, these guys, they get paid a fortune, but do they train hard enough? Do they practice hard enough? Are they that good?
Well, I think they train hard enough. I just think there's too much tactical emphasis placed on it. I'm a believer we get there on the training pitch and work. Every afternoon you should come back and hit 20, 30 balls at the goalkeeper on target, especially if you're a striker.
Interesting team was PSG. They gave Bayern a proper hiding.
Yeah, there's trouble in the camp at Bayern. I think Ancelotti's in trouble. They don't look the same team. There's been a lot of trouble. They've got old together, Robin and that Thomas Muller. Lewandowski's, he's 28, 29. He's been all getting on. The youngsters coming through haven't really done it. They're in trouble by him.
But 2 years ago, if I'd said to you PSG will beat Bayern 3-0 at home, you would have been a bit sceptical.
Correct, but when you've got Qatar behind you, what do you expect?
Okay, let's go on to the Premiership news. Diego Costa, at last we got rid of him. We don't have to watch him every weekend throwing tantrums and being, foul play, and let him go to Atletico Madrid.
He must have been quiet after the game. He was in the tunnel apparently shaking hands with the players and Antonio Conte. I wonder how he felt when they got beat 2-1.
Conte was moaning.
Yeah, he's entitled to complain about the fixture setup. It doesn't make sense. Man United played in Russia on Wednesday. Chelsea had a hard game in Spain. They've got to both play on Saturday. Chelsea play Man City in a big game. Man City were at home on Tuesday, so there's more preparation time. And I thought they should have moved some of those games to Sunday.
Is it a problem with after the game wanting to have a night out party? I see Bairstow, the cricketer, got into a bit of trouble. Is that the problem, or do they get on the plane, come home, rest up, and they don't have time?
No, they come straight back.
Yeah, and they don't have time.
No. Well, you could imagine Russia's 2 hours ahead of England.
No.
So they played at 8:45 quarter-to-7, which is 9:45 in Russia. By the time it finishes at midnight, so they'll fly maybe at 3 o'clock in the morning. I think it's a 4-hour flight. So they'll be back now.
Yeah.
So they've got to 2 days to prepare. Bit harsh, especially if it's a long trip. If it's a close trip, an hour, different story. But the Premiership pay the money. So whatever they say goes, and the clubs must abide by.
Championship news.
Yeah.
It's a big week for the Championship because there's, 6 games in the Soccer 13?
Yeah, 6 of the Soccer 13. Yeah, it's a pity. We're trying to get hold of our mate Stevie B.
He's a Fulham boy.
Yeah, big Fulham boy. Yeah, we've got his photo up. 50 years he's been watching Fulham. It's just a problem. We've got a switchboard problem, so we can't get hold of Steve. But very informative. We don't get the Championship anymore.
Yeah.
Which is sad, yeah.
So, look, the news, what do you think? Villa look like they're on a bit
they've come
of a
right. John Terry signed. Everybody thought it was automatic. Villa are going to run away with it. But he can't score the goals. And slowly but surely, they're unbeaten in 7. They won the last 3. Come right, Villa. They'll be in contention, I think.
Okay, and Sunderland are not looking so good.
Well, ironic, they come to Preston.
Yeah.
Now, last year, Roberto Martinez was manager of Aston Villa. And they were struggling. They came to Preston, and Preston buried them. Our manager last year, Simon Grayson, left us to go to Sunderland, a bigger club. Quite right. They're struggling. They've won 1 of the 10 league games. They get beat this week at Preston. He's on his way.
And so he would have been sorry to have left Preston.
Well, he's a negative manager for me at Preston, but he did a good job. He stabilised the club.
Yeah.
So you'll get a warm reception from the fans.
Fulham, well, we haven't got Stevie B, so...
they've come right, Fulham. They've got a lot of young African players in the team. A guy from the Congo, there's a guy from Guinea. They've come well. They've only lost 1 of 6.
Yeah.
Come well, Fulham.
Okay, what do we go on to? We go and have a look at the games, and I think that let's see what we've got as far as the matches are concerned.
Well, we'll have Laf, who's at his... wonder if he'll be watching this. His daughter's getting married on Saturday.
He'll be watching.
You think so?
Yeah. You know him.
Don't blame him. Spurs on a roll. You've got to fancy Tottenham. Kane's in great form. But the Spurs always throw a bad game after the European travels. And while it was an easy game in Cyprus, I've been impressed with Huddersfield.
They played well. I thought that this might be a draw game. I really did think that it depends on Kane. If he's got shooting
he scores. You've got to fancy Tottenham, but Huddersfield won't lie down, that's for sure.
Okay, the next one we move on to Bournemouth.
Leicester. 2 teams I thought would be a lot higher. Bournemouth are second bottom and Leicester are fourth bottom. I like Leicester with the 2 teams. They've played all the bigger teams. They've played well. But, when you keep losing games, James, the confidence seems to drain. And of the 2 teams, I like Leicester, but, I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up in a draw. Desperation game for both managers.
And you guys looking to bury Roy Hodgson?
Well, they've lost all 6 games. They haven't scored a goal. I know our man onside, Benteke, is going to score sooner or later. But if he can't beat Crystal Palace at home...
I thought he is injured, Benteke. Isn't he injured himself?
He's been playing.
Has he? Is it the other?
I think it's Wilfred Zaha. He's the winger. He's injured.
Yeah, I thought I knew there was one of your key players was injured.
Yeah, Benteke, he's playing.
Okay, we now move on to the next one. What's that?
Stoke Southampton. I was impressed with Southampton last week. Second half, they murdered United.
Yeah.
Only problem is they can't score goals.
Yeah, but can Southampton?
Well, no, that's what I'm talking about. Southampton can't score goals. Stoke, I'm also disappointed in them defensively. They always had these 3 giants at the back that attacked everything. I went for them against Newcastle. They were disappointing. And against Chelsea, they just got buried. Mark Hughes is in trouble here if he don't get a result here. But I don't think they will. I think Southampton in a draw is a good bet here, James.
Okay. I was going to go Stoke flat out. I thought they were good things. Yeah. West Brom, Watford.
West Brom was stiff on Monday against Arsenal. Legitimate penalty and a red card. But my problem with West Brom as a manager, Tony Pulis, he's always been at clubs that are relegation candidates, and he's always parked the bus. He's made some good signings. I just hope they go for it. I know they're at home, it's easy to say that. But Watford have won all 3 of their away games.
They've looked quite impressive, Watford.
Mini Mourinho, Marco Silva, done a great job.
Against Swansea.
Yeah, they beat Swansea 2-1.
They played really well.
Yeah, they beat Southampton, beat Bournemouth away from home.
Yeah.
So it'll be a counter-attack game. It should be a good game, but you never know with Tony Pulis.
Well, maybe they're like the South Coast, the 3 teams they beat.
Well, maybe they stay overnight for a few pints. You never know, yeah.
Okay, what do we go from next is, what do we got?
Yeah, we got West Ham. You've got to fancy West Ham. Swansea, they've got 5 points this year, and they were all taken away from home. They've lost every home game. West Ham, while they lost 3-2 to Tottenham, it's just the fight that I saw in West Ham. 8 to 10, I haven't put them in my bets, but as a banker this weekend, I think in exotics, you've got to take a chance and bank a West Ham, yeah.
Chelsea, Man City, the big one.
Yeah, that's the big one. I like Chelsea. I've gone for Chelsea. I can't believe they're 18 to 10. Man City at the back, they'll be under pressure this week. Yeah, they've lost that Mendy, the left back. They paid 50 million for him. He was a big part of their team. So they'll have Walker and Danilo. This will be a cracker. I'm surprised it's not the Sunday game. But of the 2 teams, I know they've had one less day to prepare, but I like Chelsea. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I was a Man City supporter. I thought that they'd win this. Arsenal, Brighton.
Well, your boys...
We'll get a draw.
Well, you play in Belarus tonight. I read his rest. He's kept 6 players behind.
Yeah.
He's kept Ramsey and Ozil behind. You've got to beat Brighton at home. Those are the teams you normally bury. But Arsenal at home, they're not easy to beat. I think they've won 9, drawn 1 of the last 10. Only Man City drew with them.
Yeah.
It's got to fancy Arsenal.
You've got to fancy them, although I don't fancy them. Everton, Burnley.
Well, I think this will be a humdinger. Local derby, a Lancashire derby. Everton, when Rooney went off, they showed a bit of fight when that youngster Davis come on.
Yes.
To play all these you've got to have a go. But Burnley aren't going to lie down. I think there'll be goals in this game, James. I know everybody's fancying Everton, but Burnley aren't going to lie down.
Very interesting that they beat Chelsea, and then I see that they drew with Spurs and Liverpool.
Yeah.
So, they played against the big sides, and they played well against them.
Yeah.
Are they as good away from home?
Well, those 3 games were away from home, and they've buried, I think, 100 of our entrants, Burnley.
Yeah.
Burnley. So it won't be easy for Everton. Everton play tonight in the Europa League. They play a team from Cyprus. I think it's Apollon Limassol. So I'd expect them to win that, but won't be an easy game. But I think goals, plenty of goals.
Newcastle, Liverpool.
Yeah, I think these are the teams that Liverpool normally take care of. I know there have been, over the years, great games between the 2 teams. I just hope he plays 4 forwards like he did in Russia. Because when Coutinho's playing in Mane, they're going to carve them apart. I saw 14 to 10 Liverpool to score in both halves. I like Liverpool.
Well, Coutinho makes a big difference.
He's class act,
he's great. He
class
scored
act.
a goal last night that was absolutely superb.
Yeah, free kick bent
top
it,
draw.
yeah.
Top
He's
right
class
hand
player,
corner,
yeah.
Just stepped inside and that was it. Banged it in. PSL, I think that's what we move on to.
Finally, we've got betting. There's been a lot of either cup games on the weekend or there's been midweek games and the weekend, which we haven't had betting for. But we've got betting this week, fortunately.
Right, we've got Polokwane against Orlando Pirates.
Now, the first game is, sorry, James, it's the wrong, it is Maritzburg on Friday night. They play Free State Stars.
That's absolutely
Now, I was impressed with Maritzburg. Even though they got beat against Chiefs, they were by far the better team.
Yeah.
We haven't put them in our bets because we don't include Friday games, but 7 to 10, Maritzburg. Free State Stars,
they've been good,
dangerous team. Yeah, Vladlu Davis, he's taken over. He's done a good job.
And Arrows have been good.
Oh, top of the league.
Yeah.
Done great playing in Kwamashu. Should be too good for Chipper. The only thing is Chipper have got a new manager. They've drawn the last 3 games, but Golden Arrows, just hope the weather doesn't become a bit dodgy for them, but you've got to fancy Arrows on recent form.
Cape Town Derby?
I've gone for the draw in our bets. Yeah. Cape Town City had the best player in the league last year, and they sold him to a Turkish team, Konyaspor. They've lost 2 of the last 3 games since he's gone, so tight game in Cape Town. But I think I've gone for the draw here, James.
Chiefs meet their bogey side, Baraka.
Yeah, Baraka, they haven't beat them. I know they've only come up, played them a couple of times, but Chiefs have come right. Since Cooney's come back in goals, they haven't lost in the 4 games. But Baraka, dangerous team, be careful.
Yeah, that could be a draw.
Yeah.
Right, then we move on to the Polokwane Pirates.
I was impressed with Pirates against Wits. I know they got beat, but they're really well organised. But Polokwane have lost their last...
They're much better, aren't they, than they were last season.
They hit the bar when they're 1-0 down. They had a couple of half chances. Deserved a draw. But, Gavin's team, Wits, hadn't won a game. That was their first win. But the game above it, Polokwane, they've only won one game. They beat Sundowns.
Yeah, I think Pirates 11-10 are good things.
Yeah, just they're struggling to score. Yeah, the next game I've gone for the draw game. Bloem Celtic, last 11 league games, they've drawn 9. So I've gone the draw in that game. And the Sundowns should be too good for Platinum Stars, who are bottom of the league. So Sundowns are in my bets this weekend, yeah.
Yeah, well, they're playing well. They look like they'd be too good for Platinum Stars. But we go on to the pools. Let's go and see what we've got. We've got the start with the Soccer 6.
Yeah, we spent our customary 216. I've gone the field in the Cape Town Derby. I've banked Golden Arrows to beat Chipper. I've thrown the draw in with Kaizer Chiefs. I've gone the field Polokwane Pirates. And Supersport Amazulu, the game's postponed. Supersport are playing in the Confederations Cup, so you can go either there. That's the banker. And I've thrown in the draw with Atletico Madrid. While they were disappointing last night, they haven't really set the world alight in previous seasons. So I've thrown the draw and looking for a result. If you want to bank Atletico, cost you 108 Rand. Wouldn't blame you, but I've thrown the draw in there looking for a...
They weren't good
They were
last
woeful
night,
last night, especially in the
but
second
they've
half.
got Costa now. He'll cause
But now
a
he
bit
can only play in January.
he can only, he'll cause a bit of disruption when he starts. Right, we move on to the next Soccer 6.
Yeah, the English one, I've gone Leicester in the draw. I've banked Man United, which I think everybody's banker. I've gone the field with Stoke and Southampton, likewise West Brom and Watford. I've banked West Ham to beat Swansea. And while I like Chelsea, you've got to throw the draw, Chelsea in the draw with Man City 216. Yeah.
Now, it might be worth even going 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you could go 1, 2, 3.
West Brom and the draw.
And the draw, it just depends. But that's the way we've gone, yeah.
Okay, let's move on. And then with the next Soccer 6.
10, yeah. I've gone win and draw Cape Town City. I've banked Golden Arrows. I've gone Borussia Dortmund, who played well against Real Madrid, but I always worry about that bounce factor after the Champions League big games. I've gone them win and draw. Augsburg are 6, they're going well. I've gone Chiefs win and draw against Baraka. I've gone Leicester City win and draw at Bournemouth. I've banked Man United to beat Palace. I've gone Chelsea win and draw against Man City. I've gone Pirates win and draw at Polokwane City. I've banked the 3-1 Supersport Amazulu, and I've thrown the draw in with Atletico Madrid 256.
256. Then we move on to the next Soccer 10, I think.
It's Soccer 13, the next one, James. It's our usual 5 bankers and 8 win and draws. I've gone win and draw Chelsea against Man City. I've gone with Leicester against Bournemouth. I've banked Man United against Palace.
Bournemouth, just go with that game. Bournemouth quite good at home,
They've just been struggling. Leicester are a dangerous team. They play well on the counter-attack.
Yeah.
And Vardy and those guys up front, and they've got to go for it at home, Bournemouth. And I think they'll get caught on the break a few times. They've been disappointing this year, Bournemouth. They've only won one game.
Yes.
And that was against Brighton when they were 1-0 down. So I've taken the chance. It's a 1-2-3 game, James.
Sure.
But you go 1-2-3, it just bumps the perm up. So I've got banked United. I've gone win and draw Southampton at Stoke. I've gone West Brom win and draw against Watford. I've banked West Ham. I've gone for Aston Villa to beat Bolton. Bolton are struggling, can't score any goals.
This is where we needed Stevie B. We need to get
this Stevie B's call.
Game.
Now, Wolves got beat last night. They got beat 2-0 at Sheffield United. They had a player sent off at 1-0 and they missed a penalty. But Burton got murdered by Aston Villa on Tuesday night. So I've taken the chance, banked Wolverhampton. Cardiff City, top of the league, going well. They beat Leeds, top of the league clash on Tuesday. Derby are struggling, especially away from home. Then I've gone Bristol City, going great guns at Ipswich. I've gone Sheffield United, who I think are second now, at Nottingham Forest. I've gone win and draw Preston. I know people will look at me and say, but Preston, Sunderland are struggling. Every time we play these teams, we should beat at home, we draw. And Sunderland's a desperation game. If they get beat, he's gone. So I don't see them coming to play football. I think it's going to be rollerball. So I've thrown the draw in. Now the last game's an interesting one. It's the relegation decider in Sweden. Eskilstuna play on an artificial pitch where Jönköping Södra play on the grass. They've done well in the last few games, Eskilstuna at home. So I've sided with them, win and draw, and spent 435.
For 30 million rand.
No, we'll be having a go at that, James.
We've got to have a go at that. Right, then we go to your bets, because this is where we get the cash to be able to fund this whole thing.
Yep,
You've been going well too.
Yeah, the Premiership quad, I've gone Chelsea to beat Man City. I thought 18-10 was a great price, and we average over 6-7 and won all the bets, so that was the way I threw them in. I think Liverpool will be too good for Newcastle. I've gone win or draw, Leicester at Bournemouth and Southampton at Stoke City. So that worked out at 8.5 to 1. We took 1,700 to 200. I've taken the easy way out on the PSL, I just think local derbies are always tight. So I've gone the draw in both games, Ajax Cape Town and Cape Town City, and also Bloem Celtic against Bidvest 1702. I've taken that for the draw. The
Championship treble?
The championship treble, I've gone over 2.5 goals in Sunday's game between Sheffield Wednesday and Leeds United. And I've gone Middlesbrough to beat Brentford. And I've gone Aston Villa to beat Bolton by more than 1 goal. That worked out at 12 to 1. They were like 3 and 4 to 10. So I thought, let me get a little bit extra price. So that's what we've done. Both teams to score, I've gone Everton, Burnley, Newcastle, Liverpool, Ipswich, Bristol City, and Hull, Birmingham. Since Harry Redknapp got fired, they haven't lost a game. They won last night, 1,800 to 200. The Spanish quartet, I've gone Deportivo to beat Getafe. I've gone both teams to score in the Levante, Alaves, and Real Madrid Espanyol game. And I've gone over 2.5 goals in the Real Sociedad, Real Betis game, 2,400 to 200. And the six or nixer, I've gone Liverpool to beat Newcastle. I've gone Aston Villa to beat Bolton. I've gone Middlesbrough to beat Brentford. I've gone Juventus to beat Atalanta, who beat Everton last time in the Europa, but they play Europa League tonight, a hard game. I've gone Sevilla to beat Malaga at home, and I've gone Mamelodi Sundowns to win at Platinum Stars.
All right. Now, I've watched your bets, and your bets are on the mark. You're pretty good with these things. But chaps have asked me to put 3 together
like 3
over the
teams.
weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 together to win, because they say...
6 is difficult, I know.
You're getting a 5.5 to 1, the 3 to win. If they're all odds on, you've got a chance.
Yeah.
Which would be your 3?
Well, of the ones, I like Liverpool. I think 7 to 10 Liverpool's a good bet. I think Middlesbrough, they got beat a Tuesday night. They were 8.5 to 10. And I like Sundowns, a local one. I know people don't like taking the local teams, but 7 to 10 Sundowns, I think, is a good bet. So that would work out around about 9 to 2, 5 to 1.
Yeah.
It's easy to put 1 to 4 Barcelona, 1 to 10 Real Madrid and those teams.
They don't help.
Yeah, they don't help.
Because
so I like to look between 7 and 8 to 10. You roll them up. That's 9 to 2, 5 to 1. And but the sixer is, we've caught a few of those. So we.
But it's not easy to catch a sixer, but you can have a full go with the 3 and pay all your bets over the weekend. And soccer bets, very profitable.
No, it is. That's the way it's going. I was at the Tote here with my mate Hilton Witz the other day. And I think of the 20 people...
He must be his only mate.
Who? Hilton?
Yeah.
No, he's got 1 or 2.
Pirates?
The Pirates, the Penzance.
Pirates Witz.
And what was strange is everybody came in and they're just taking soccer bets. There was hardly any interest in the racing. It was at Turffontein too. So it was strange. That's the way it's going.
There have been some bad fields at Turffontein. The racing hasn't been good.
Well, the bad results, so people rather spend their money on football, and at least they know football.
You must be the most popular guy in that tab.
I think I'm the only one at the tab.
So that's it for the weekend.
Yep. Starts Friday night. Soccer 13, here we come, James.
We hope they all arrive, and let's hope that we catch a Soccer 13. We don't mind sharing it among 10 or 12 or 15 ticket holders. So have a go. Budgie, as usual, as professional as ever. And my goodness, what a weekend we've got in store for us. Lots and lots of soccer all over the world, and we can get some money. Enjoy the soccer and enjoy onside. We'll see you next week with Laugh.